Is he gonna stay?
No.
No.
Just a tease.
Yep.
Dia will be playing the Zarya, so, you know, this is a new look for him in a new meta.
Well, Hack gonna be coming through, finds Coma right at the start. Gonna be unable to find any kills here. Still playing this one out pretty slowly. You're at 177 Dante, you'll be alright. Don't need healing that badly. Pushing their way forward across the bridge. Shield raised for Gamsu, just trying to keep everybody protected, but Ding's gonna get hacked. Knocked out of that mech very swiftly, so good start for the Houston Outlaws on this approach.
Yeah, that's gonna be a reset for sure.
Still playing forward, so might try to just pistol him back into that mech.
It's gonna be easier said than done, but he does have this position now where he can get it back. 65%.
Yep, dropped in onto the point. Gamsu just trying to keep him protected. Buma coming around from the backside. Ding just sitting in the back room here. 15% more to go.
He should
Arhan going to be taken down, but Koma's going to be eliminated. Youngjin with a sliver of HP will get finished off as Muma pops the Primal Rage. Finds the kill. Ding's like, guys, it's okay, I'm here. But the rest of the team is a bit in shambles here
He's
at the
still
moment.
alive for so long up there.
Well, he did, but it was a nice little attempt here for the Shanghai Dragons to keep things moving. No ultimates going to be committed from them. Just trying to build those up. So we'll just reset.
It wasn't a realistic fight to hope to win without the Diva. However, they built a lot of ultimates with this. They did force Muma's Primal out, so there's definitely a great way to re-engage here now with the Graviton Surge. Raucus is right on the edge of having his Transcendence. He should have it in time, and there's also the EMP. There's a lot of ways for the Outlaws to mess up this first attack with the ults.
There you go. EMP going to be coming up, and Luffy, he times that Transcendence beautifully to keep everybody alive, and now they have to transition over onto the point. Going through the archway here, make their way over. Riley's going to be out from Youngjin. Dante looking for a hack target, will be able to find Dia. He's getting beamed down a little bit, but he's got the hacked health pack to try to stay alive, and Luffy will get taken down by Muma. Koma's still so very far away from a sound barrier, unable to have that to try to chain together. So the Shanghai Dragons still getting rerouted now up to the high ground along the side of the point. Not really in a position, a favorable position for themselves. Now they have to try to get Luffy back over with the rest of the squad.
They got the trance, and that's what they really needed to do with that push so that Dia's grab can now be effective. Boink has a sound barrier, so this is not all lost for the Outlaws here in terms of ult economy, but this is their chance. This is when the Shanghai Dragons really need to break through. Luffy needs to build a trance during grab. There's the grab out.
Yeah,
Solo
grab
on
going to
Muma.
be coming through on Muma, as you say.
And he gets away.
He manages to get out of there with his life intact. Sound barrier used by the Houston Outlaws to really make sure that Winston could survive. Now they're down over onto the point. Arhan with the rally roll and trying to stay alive. Kites his way back. Seems like he's going to be safe. That EMP comes through, catches everybody on the Shanghai Dragons.
Perfect fight.
And that is going to be the wipe coming through the Houston Outlaws. Looking reinvigorated now on Temple of Anubis.
That was the toughest fight for them to win. Absolutely the toughest fight they'll ever have to win on this defense. Solo grab onto Muma. Look at Boink here. He's going to hit the sound barrier. He sees him. He sees the call out here. He comes in with the barrier on high ground in the face of all the enemies. Keeps him alive. He escapes. And they're able to win the longer fight there through the healing, through the shields, into the EMP. Very well played from the Outlaws. Super coordinated.
Well, Luffy could he be taken down? Boink comes up with a kill. That's going to be the Transcendence out of the fight as we run the clock down below 20 seconds. Arhan swinging away up in the front lines. Comes up with a double for himself. They're jumping forward. They're looking for Coma. Trying to get this extra stagger onto the Lucio. Unable to find it, but Dante gets rid of Ding. Which means that there is not going to be an EMP in this fight unless they can extend this to a crazy length. But I don't even think they're going to be able to attack the point. Coma's trying to make it there. They can't do it.
The Houston Outlaws, they bounce back after Oasis. A monstrous full hold here on Temple of Anubis.
Complete full hold. Great sound barrier from Boink. The Arhan rally was well timed. What a surprising result here, but nothing gained for the Dragons.
Fantastically done here from the Houston Outlaws. Shanghai Dragons going to be looking for the fuller hold, as we call it. We'll see if they can pull it off when we come back from the break. Otherwise, Outlaws looking like they might be tying us up.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Outlaws. What a bounce back after the first map. Managed to pull off the full hold here at the start of Temple of Anubis. No percentage surrendered to the Shanghai Dragons. Now they're going to be shifting over onto the defense, but match of the week going to be coming up. Spark versus Shock. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Check that one out on Twitch or ESPN.
Check that out. All right, one tick is all they need.
Dia is playing Ashe.
Dia is playing Ashe, so this probably explains more about what they were trying to run. They wanted to run the Ashe over the Widowmaker, and perhaps Dia is just more well-versed than Youngjin in terms of the Ashe right now. Youngjin will be on the Hog, which we've seen a lot from him in the past in Korea. He's one of the most flexible players you'll ever see. I mean, thanks to Libero. Ding on the Junkrat that he's been playing so much of. We saw it on the attack on Anubis earlier this stage. Now we're going to see it on the defense. And Arhan, we'll see if he cuts some air here, or if he's going to get the kills and the dash resets required to tie up this series, because he's playing Genji. DPS it's real, man. We're seeing him. It's not all 3-3 anymore.
Certainly not. Just waiting for them to push forward. That's going to be the dive coming through. Dia trying to bounce his way back up onto that high ground, unable to do so. Arhan does dash right through him, but now he's in a bit of a precarious spot. One more right click almost would have taken down Ding. Rez came through. So the Ashe going to be back into the mix, but Youngjin manages to find a pick off here onto Boink.
This is totally fine for the Outlaws. They didn't get any kills. They didn't feed over too much ult charge. But I think that if the next push goes as poorly, that's when you've got to start worrying that this could end up being a draw. Daron's sticking around late. He's looking for a blade. He's not trying to get kills right now.
Well, he's going to be burning down, and that's going to be him. Almost dead, actually. They do manage to top him back up. Nano turned in by Raucus. Over onto Muma. He's just going to be zapping away at Youngjin. Trying to duel him, but the hook comes through. Oh, the Mega Pack, it's not there in time. Muma, who can take him down. Youngjin taking a well-deserved nap after coming up with a monstrous kill here for the Shanghai Dragons on this defense. Still so very long to go if they want to complete this fuller hold and give us a draw.
Here's the Riptire.
Tire will be coming through. They're pushing to the back. That's going to be Raucus taken down. Unable to have the focus fire. Cool Matt taken out of the mech as well. And Bob, he's just going to be shooting everybody that he can here in the back of the point.
Shanghai Dragons have to use ults in these situations. They use two emergency ults, the Riptire and Bob. But the Outlaws use the Nano, and Raucus is really going to need to build that up quickly. He's been building them so fast in this series. But, you know, you need this combo. The Dragon Blade with the Nano Boost, the Nano Blade as we call it, is your win condition here. All you need is one tick. You cannot be throwing those ultimates away.
Thank you, Captain Planet, for the puns as always. But yeah, not much Ashe play being seen, but now it's Dia back into the mix. Maybe we'll see a bit more of it. It's going to be Supercharger take it down. Yeah, Arhan does get sniped out. Whole Hog is here. Muma pops the Primal, gets pushed up to the top. Dia comes up with another kill. Gonna rapidly get that next Bob ready to go.
That's the push. That's the push they needed to, I think, play a little bit slower. Get those blades up. They have it now, but they could have had a Primal with it. They could have had everything. They could have had all 6 ultimates. And it's just Shanghai Dragons one ult after the other, staggering this. If that Riptire finishes, so do the Outlaws with it. So they need to finish this attack now with the Nanoblade before that Riptire is ready. If he gets hooked, if the trance is good, there's so many ways this go wrong for the Outlaws now.
Ooh, taking a lot of damage, just trying to stay alive. Bionade will be used. Nano is set. They see Arhan. Waiting for the setup. Sleep not going to find a connection. Oh, the Raucus in the back! The flank from Youngjin! Comes up with a huge kill.
Gone. The barrier's gone. The Outlaws again disconnected in communication on ultimates here. Muma's going to be picked off late too. That's a stagger. And there's less than a minute left on the clock. They hold the critical ultimates. The Nano Blade is still there, but all the pairing ultimates. Such a huge play from Youngjin. He predicted the Nano Boost is going to come out. He knows Raucus is trying to get line of sight onto Arhan. He flanks him and hooks him. Huge play by Youngjin, but now the Outlaws are in serious trouble.
And this is 6 ultimates available from Shanghai Dragons as Gamasu gets ready to complete the Supercharger here.
That's the Riptire.
1% away.
The Riptire could shut this whole thing down.
Riptire is one of the biggest counters to Genji, if not the biggest. We are staring down the barrel of a fuller hold here for the Shanghai Dragons. Riptire going to be coming through. Pushes up over onto the high ground. He's looking for the target. He's trying to find the Genji, and that's going to be Arhan taken down with the Nano Blade. Raucus does manage to find Ding. The Coma is hovering around, and he's going to be able to get the res, and he's not going to get punished for it. Youngjin pushing forward. Sees Raucus. Will be taking another nap, but is that going to be enough for the Outlaws to make their way over onto the point. Cool Matt gonna be knocked out of the mech and eliminated. Rock is taken down. Luffy, the only casualty on the side of the dragon so far. Now Dante gonna be gone as well. Numa swinging away with a primal rage, but that's gonna expire. He can't kill off Coma. Orhan comes back in with a tracer, barely manages to find the kill here onto the Mercy, but now needs to buy enough time for the rest of the squad. He's looking for Ting, but he's behind the barrier. OT gonna be taken away. The Shanghai Dragons have actually done it in the face of adversity. The Outlaws look good on their defense, but the Shanghai Dragons look even better.
Disconnected ultimates. I said it, if the Riptire finishes, this push is finished. They shut down the Nano Blade, no supporting ultimates, too much of a disconnect and miscommunication on when those ultimates should be used. Youngton makes a big play. It's a draw.
It is a draw. Shanghai Dragons still at match point. We'll see you guys on the other side of halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. Dragons are trying to win 2 matches in 1 week for the first time in team history. And now, with 2 maps down, they're 1 map away. They can do it here in the second half.
They really could. They really could. It's so close.
I love it. Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena. It's Puckett. We've got Josh. We've got Zoe. And as you can see on our scoreboard, there was a draw. It's Shanghai up by 1 at the half after both maps. And the first map was not pretty if you are a Houston Outlaws fan. Zoe, we were watching the Dragons just bring it to them time and time again. Who was popping off the most, though, for the Dragons so far?
I would say that was Ding, without a doubt. His Pharah was wreaking havoc in the lines of the Houston Outlaws. And Houston Outlaws didn't really do much to counter that. That was mainly due to Youngjin just creating a lot of space for his Pharah and for the rest of his team. Meanwhile, Dante and Raucus, they were pushed back so hard, so they never even got to shut down Ding. Ding died not a single time in the first round. 0 times in the first round, and then just once at the very end of the second round. So that's actually insane.
So you only picked the Pharah 1 time after watching all the VOD. That leads you to think you might see a Pharah today.
Yeah, I mean, Ding is just absolutely fantastic on Pharah. I keep saying it. And so much pressure on Coolmat as well. Who does he defense matrix?
Right.
Ding or the Soldier 76 that was coming out? He's got so much to try and deal with. The pressure is so insane coming out from Shanghai.
Now, one of the best moments of the day was finally seeing a legend from Season 1. Dia was back in the lineups for the Shanghai Dragons in our second map, and he showed us a little bit of Zarya, but also the Ashe on the defense, and this had me pumped up because I play a lot of Ashe at home. He's showing you how to do it at the pro level.
He really did. Yeah, no, and he looked actually great on that Ashe. I was a little bit worried for the Shanghai Dragons. Arguably, if you look at statistics, this should be one of their worst maps. They're currently 0-4. Now, I guess they're still 0-4 since it was a draw,
Yeah,
so they still didn't win Anubis. But, you know, baby steps.
Yeah, and also I quite like the Ash pick on Anubis, because normally you'd play the Widowmaker, but you're gonna get dived a lot, and so you see when you're able to use the coach gun to be able to get away, that's one of the added benefits of running Ash in that situation, and you can just throw Bob in there as well.
Coach gun, not shotgun. I like that you know all the names. You're doing great, Josh. Keep it going, though, because not only did we see great gameplay, we also saw some smart plays when it comes to the ultimates. How did those play into game number 2?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the Outlaws' defense here, because it was good. And so I've got an ult economy by State Farm that I want to run you through the ults for. And so I'm going to wander over to this portion, because we've got the way that this one played out was that the Primal Rages and the EMPs were the big ones. So here's Muma at the opening, able to get his Primal very quickly off. And he's buying time for Dante to be able to get his off. Then in the next fight, when they have the EMP available, here's how Dante uses it. Catches players, they try to go aggressive, and here you can see Muma's ult charge starts to tick up. He goes back in again, he's able to get halfway to the next Primal. So they're alternating these two ultimates and being able to find a lot of value out of it. It gets to the next fight, they've had to pop a sound barrier to keep everybody alive. Muma's come out of his Primal, bought time for another EMP, and with only a minute left on the clock, they're able to wipe them using that. And it's a really nice alternation of these ultimates, buying time with one of them to be able to get up to the second one and make sure that they always have a game-winning ultimate available. And the Dragons really found it very difficult to be able to catch Muma and be able to open a door for them. Unfortunately, Outlaws weren't able to push. But the defense was good.
The push didn't work out so well, but we still have a second half to play. On the pre-show, everyone went with Dragons, but let's talk about the flip side here. How can Houston bring it back in the second half?
I think it comes down to just being able to play the 3-3 a lot better. I've been very disappointed, actually, with how they've been able to maneuver around what Dragons are playing. They know that Dragons are going to play DPS, but they've struggled with it a lot.
I mean, they technically had the right picks to counter what the Dragons are doing, but they never put themselves in the right positions to actually do so, as they are still being pressured way too much. I want to see more aggression from the Houston Outlaws. They have to bring the pace. They have to actually be the ones in charge of that.
I like that call. We'll find out. Can Houston turn it up a notch? We have 2 more games to go when we return here on the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Things are getting weird up in here. We have a fuller hold coming through from the Shanghai Dragons, which means that they are going to be at match point. Houston
Not technically a
Outlaws.
fuller hold, equally full hold.
Okay, still.
Fuller hold's where you win with it.
Well, sure. That's
Just gotta
you
use
are
the terminology, technicalities.
Things get weird. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we are now at match point for the Shanghai Dragons. Houston Outlaws have to pick up a win here on Hybrid as we get ready to jump into that. Otherwise, Shanghai could just take the series here, and that's another loss that Houston are facing as they get ready to roll into the Dallas homestand weekend next week.
Yeah, you don't want to be facing all those losses. We're gonna have, you know,
a nice old look at Ding.
yeah, we were gonna talk about Ding for a second. I thought we were gonna have potentially a sub here, but Ding is the Pharah player who gave them so much trouble on Oasis, and they didn't swap composition for him, and you know, then he was able to out-ult Economy on the following map. We will have the sub that I was kind of alluding to. Is DM will be subbing in for DS, so he only played the one map. Got a map draw there, not even a map win, unfortunately. Maybe he'll be subbed back in later.
You never know. Personally, I'd keep him in because Ash pretty good on Blizzard World, at least in my experience. But that will be our hybrid map, like I said. Houston Outlaws need to turn things around. It was looking really great for them on that initial defense, but Shanghai Dragons, they came back in with a bit of vengeance there.
Some Doomfist, maybe?
Oh, well, they're swapping around a little bit. Youngjin still, yeah, he'll push back into the spawn room. The swaps will come through. Seems like Ding probably going to be sticking with the Sombra.
I love Youngjin Doomfist.
Oh, okay, they're still
Yes!
they're making some alterations.
All right, well, it's going to be pretty strong against the Immortality field because you can knock players out of it, and then if they slam into the wall, when they're no longer in the Immortality field, they will still die to the Rocket Punch. And it's a very highly mobile hero here. When coupled with the Pharah and the Tracer, it's very difficult to protect all angles as the team that's running this Baptiste comp.
Gamsu around the back of the point. Youngjin
Look
joining
where
him,
Muma is.
waiting. Oh,
He wants it.
yeah, right up against the wall. Can't quite finish him off though. Immortality field going to be thrown in. Arhan helping to keep Muma safe for the moment. Driver comes out, keeping him right there into the corner. This time, Muma, it's no way to save him. He'll get taken down. Gamsu snagging that final blow. Still not quite making their way onto the point yet. They want to clear the people out of Snacks Ramus. And with point gone, we start looking pretty darn good. Arhan has managed to build up an amp matrix, but this is not really going to lead to much you would expect. They will go ahead and throw down the window. As I say that, though, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a bit of a caster curse moment coming through for the Dragons, as Luffy will get taken down and Coma under fire. Will get hounded out by Coolmat, so maybe they do manage to maintain control, and it seems like, yeah, they will. Muma comes back in, has a very angry pile driver there onto Youngjin, and Ding is just trying to escape, but he won't be able to do so, so the Outlaws do manage to maintain control.
And then a long fight like that, you buy a lot of time, too, because, I mean, the longer the fight goes that you're winning, the more time the Shanghai Dragons are losing. But the other side of the coin here is that the Dragons build the ultimates they need. They're about to have all six, the big six as we call it. And the Meteor Strike is one of the most important ones in this because you could set up a position where they have to run it into somewhere else where they're going to be hit by a barrage, for example. So I really like the chances here. Transcendence needs to be baited, though, before they can really get the maximum value out of these. So how they initiate is really going to be important. And then there's going to be a follow-up grab. It's going to be the Valkyrie first.
Oh, Bubble's already going to be used. That's going to be the stick coming in. DM does manage to stay alive for a little bit longer, but Coolmat finishes him off as that grab comes through. Barrage out from Ding, gets rid of point. The rest is going to be there from Coma. Puts the Tracer straight back into the action. Youngjin just hunting targets as best as he can. Finds Muma, gets the uppercut here. Will not be able to finish him off, but he does hold on to that Meteor Strike. So we'll see if he wants to swap here.
You have to wonder if, and I think he will probably swap, but you have to wonder if, well, it looks like I'm wrong, if the communication was missed there in terms of protecting Dante with the Pulse Bomb, because they had the trance, they still have it, but, I mean, you needed him to live for you to win that fight, and they traded for the Tracer, but, I mean, this was definitely a fight I think the Outlaws could have turned, or at least put up a bigger fight with that Transcendence, and possibly have built another one by now. So, something to ponder on. As Youngjin looks like he just kind of wants to use this Meteor Strike as a defensive ultimate. If he gets low, if he gets into an emergency situation, he can use that to escape. Especially out in the open like this, it's tough to get value.
Oh, he's coming around the back. It's going to be the Seismic Slam. Forces out the Transcendence and will be able to get out with the Meteor Strike. Now just waiting to see where he wants to drop in. Starting in on top here on the high ground. Unable to find any kills with that slap. Does keep himself safe.
Always going to get more out of his Meteor Strikes in enclosed spaces, and Blizzard World here for the street space, not so much an enclosed map unless you get caught in a choke. So it's really easy to avoid it here.
Barrage ready to roll. Full mat down to half. Ding would love to get rid of that mech before he invests the ultimate here. Full mat pushing forward. D-Matrix going to be used. He's going to go ahead, drop in. Raucus disappears, but so does Ding as he gets popped up into the sky. Cool Matt will use that self-destruct. Manages to find Comus. The pharmacy duo going to be dismantled. Boink manages to take down DM, so things looking pretty good as the Outlaws try to stabilize. Hack onto Youngjin means he can't do squat, so will get taken down.
As much as I've been in love with Youngjin's Doomfist since the Panthera days, it's time to swap composition. They had an ult advantage with what they were running, and I think that has expired. You know, it's gone bad. It's no longer finding utility here. They're up against an EMP. And, I mean, they're not going to go into 3-3, which I think they want to do. They're going to go into, or should be want to do, they're going to go into kind of Sombra Pharah here. Strong if you can get those kills, if you can continually hit the targets, but there's so many places to hide against the Pharah here in this open space.
DM going to be dropping down. Goes in that EMP. Raucus getting some armor out from the rally means that he can stay alive for a little bit longer. Now, counter EMP does come through, but it's going to be Raucus taken down to the end. Ding able to find that kill. Now Muma eliminated as well. Ding just pushing his way back to safety as the cart continues to inch forward, being escorted here by Luffy. Rolling up closer and closer to B. The minute and 25 left in the clock. Will finally be contested right here at the last second. They jump forward. Muma gets the tag. They stop it, but Coolmac gets melted out of that mech, and now the barrage, I was going to say, could come in for free, but Ding will get hacked for the moment at least.
They're still hitting those shots.
Yep, they get the stun. That's going to be Boink taken down. So far, Luffy going to be the only casualty on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. The Outlaws desperately trying to hold it right here. The barrage going to be coming through. Unable to find the kills. Raucus manages to find the snipe. Gets the orb to the face there, onto the Pharah. Now he's out of the mix, and Raucus is just taking names in the back line.
They could stabilize if he gets the trance, but he's going to die.
Yeah, manages to find another one here. Cincinnati's going to be taken down. They're still trying to play up here onto the card. That's going to be the EMP coming through, catching the remaining members nearby. The Shanghai Dragons. Arhan going to be taken down. Youngjin traded out as both Briggs will be eliminated. DM has to throw the translocator over to the side, try to get out to safety. He'll get top back up as Koma comes back through with the pocket healing. The mines in from Gamsu. Manages to find a kill onto Boink. Bomb going to be dumped by Cool Matt. Gamsu wraps around the back to try to stay safe, but now we're down to 25 seconds. The cart's still just 2 meters away.
This is
Shanghai
the series.
Dragons, they have to get this pushed in.
This is the series we thought we'd see. Scrappy, non-stop team fighting, but they hold, you know, they survived. Raucus got a trance. He's about to have another one. They have both support ultimates here. Shanghai's just swapping comps now. They're playing for C, but they got to take B first before they're even close to getting DM on a Graviton Surge. Gamsu's hacked. He's the target here. Valkyrie's out, and they don't have a high ground position to fight for, or fight from, rather, because the Outlaws have already moved back.
Yep, Youngjin getting tagged up. Sound barrier going to be in from Boink. Raucus holding onto the Transcendence as well. Gamsu's already going to be eliminated. Muma trying to push him up the high ground. Manages to displace Ding. Now just going to be spamming away here onto DM as he's going to have to drop down, try to keep this thing contested. All on his lonesome. They push him further away. OT will tick down. They get 2 meters away, but the Houston Outlaws, again, looking good on defense.
You know, there's a limit to creativity. There's a limit to what you could do with these compositions the Shanghai Dragons are running. And now we have to start wondering, are they incapable of running the 3-3 because they refuse to do so? And it comes back to bite them.
Well, Houston Outlaws getting ready to go on the attack. Let's see what they can get done when we come back.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Houston Outlaws again looking pretty good on the defense. They deny the point B take away from the Shanghai Dragons on their attack. But we just saw Temple of Anubis a little bit ago, so I'm still waiting with bated breath to see how this defense from the Dragons will go.
I don't think we're going to see something as complicated as what we saw with the Ash Junkrat defense from the Dragons here on Blizzard World, but, you know, there was a lot of, I think, hesitation around running a more normal 3-3 to get B.
Well, of course, guys, make sure if you haven't already to go over to overwatchleague.com/allstars and get your votes in. See if you can get your favorite players up on the stage as they duke it out against each other. All-Stars coming up pretty quickly after stage 2 concludes.
There's not too much time left.
So the Shanghai Dragons are running the Reinhardt Zarya with the Sombra variation here, versus Arhan's Genji. We might see that swapped as soon as they identify what this is, and that is going to be the case. You can see Arhan already hopping back towards the spawn, and we will see him probably swap to Brigitte. But I wonder how competent the Dragons will play around this composition, because they've done so much, you know, but they're avoiding it this stage, and I wonder why. Perhaps they're, you know, not feeling like they're up to, you know, top standard on it right now, but I think they're very good at this, and Ding is a great Sombra. We'll see how this works out.
Well, Rock is going to be taken down, Luffy. Finds a very nice starting pick. As Dante just tries to make it out with his life intact. Charge forward very aggressively from the Dragons. Everybody coming in behind Gamsu and managed to pick off Dante. Now Muma will very well disconnected from the rest of his squad.
Now, it's really smart for the Outlaws to disengage immediately because they don't want to be feeding off ult charge after that initial pick onto Raucus. Muma's going deep. He's going to try to come in for, you know, basically a flank or pincer type tactic here.
He made it far enough away. Yeah. They can't hunt him forever because otherwise they're going to surrender control of the point.
I don't know about coming in at that angle, though. He's already used his cooldown, so the Dragons know they're completely safe now. They can play more aggressively. Luffy's looking for an angle. Should be back ready for a jump now, though.
Yeah, buys him a little bit more time. Discord Orb is going to be coming through. Arhan going to be taken down as Gamsu finds the kill. DM holding on by a sliver of HP. Will get topped back up and remain safe. Jump comes through, but Muma going to be hitting the ground dead. And the Shanghai Dragons, they don't lose anybody despite the HP bars flashing dangerously low.
I think if Muma had tried to come in with a jump from behind at the same time the Outlaws were attacking, there would have been so much pressure on Luffy. He wouldn't have been able to build a Transcends, might have gotten picked. But they lost the tank battle because he had that jump pack on cooldown when the fight ensued. The Shanghai Dragons saw that he leaped in back into that little doorway, and they were like, well, this is the time to engage. They have the EMP now as well, and there's no Transcendence to counter it, so I don't think this is the one. This is not the push.
Yeah, already EMP going to be used. Only finds Muma. Point going to be stunned up, but that's going to be a pin coming through from Gamsu.
Ooh, and the primal commitment. He's really going to need to get value out of that, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
He's trying to get the smack up, but Gamsu, he's sitting on the ledge. Can they kill him? No, they can't. He survives. Doing his best bumper impression. Gamsu stays in it.
This is egregious ultimate usage. This is what the Outlaws have been struggling with so much on these attacks, is committing ultimates after these fights. He was the only one hacked because they wanted to prevent the primal. We're going to take a look at this again. But he was the only one hacked, as you can see, so he couldn't primal. Shatter comes through, they demech the Diva. But he primals afterwards because he feels so liberated. The hack wore off, I suppose, but there was no way he was going to turn that fight.
All right, well, that's going to be the grab coming through. Transcendence is out from Luffy to try to keep everybody alive. Bomb thrown down by Colmat right up into the front. Going to be unable to find any kills. Now the responding grab comes through from DM. The trance is there from Raucus. So no one going to be going down yet, but that's going to be the EMP dump coming through from Ting. It catches absolutely everyone. And maybe, just maybe, we're looking at another full hold at the hands of the Shanghai Dragons.
It looks that way.
And remember, if they close this, that's the series done. The Houston Outlaws will not be able to get a win. They have to cap A. They have to push to B if they want to keep their hopes alive.
Muma, he did swap to Reinhardt after using the primal. That makes it less, you know, I feel like you could accept it a lot more. Don't know if that was the original plan or not. But now he has to challenge Gamsu, who has a shatter before he does. So he's going to try to look to get into a position where he can hit a fire strike to match that shatter. They only have the sound barrier here in terms of lasting power, and it's their best tool to win the longer fight. Muma's going to have to win the tank war through that sound barrier. The same is true of Dante versus DM.
Well, Gamsu going on the offensive here, drops down. Sound barrier comes out from
very
point.
Early.
And the shatter doesn't hit anything, so Gamsu coming up short on that one.
Muma's going to have
Muma a second lease on life. Gamsu's going to have to get the shield raised to block this one out. Grab comes through, DM wrapping around the backhand side, gets a flank, tries to surprise him. Arhan gonna be taken down. Dante going lower and lower, the EMP gonna keep coming through. Again, they chase forward. Ding gets himself a double. The sweep comes in as Coolmac gets cleaned up on the point, and that will be the full hold.
The drop down from Gamsu, the shatter hits nothing, but what he accomplishes is he baits out the barrier. In that moment, Luffy's able to build 50% of a trance, and his transcendence out heals the Outlaws. And it's that play, Gamsu, that forces the barrier, that wins them this defense, and wins Shanghai this series.
Shanghai Dragons, they take the victory, but there's still one more map to be played. Let's see if the Houston Outlaws can spare their blushes when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That is the series going the way of the Shanghai Dragons. Still one more map to be played, so Houston, maybe they can pick up a win, but I think we have to have a little chat first.
Yeah, I think so.
There's been some really weird ult usage coming through from the Houston Outlaws. We just ran an ult economy video before. Their players are featured in it. You guys go back and watch the video that you were a part of because you're making some pretty egregious errors when it comes down to the ult usage.
I mean, the thing to remember, too, about all of this is if you mess it up, you know, like, for example, if the shatter comes through and they don't use the sound barrier and the shatter's a big one, it's hard to know in that exact moment that the sound barrier is basically used too early. It's hard to know. I said he built 50% of a trance, but he only built 30. But it's hard to know Luffy's going to build that in about 5 seconds and then out-heal you in the ensuing team fight. These are decisions that you make on the fly in the moment, but they have long-lasting consequences. And sometimes playing safer as you're approaching so that you know there's no way a drop-down shatter can hit you is the proper response. Not about, you know, the sound barrier usage there in the end. Sometimes it's about preventing that possible scenario where you would need the sound barrier. You've got to have, that's your best tool, that's your best ultimate. It's got to be hitting it. You've got to be hitting it on the point, in the fight, in the moment that wins you the map, or at least extends the map for you, since, you know, they would have had to push basically all the way to B. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like the Dragons are in their heads since the beginning of this series, and they're shutting down these ultimates, are forcing them to use them at weird times. And, you know, when we go back to Anubis, there was a lot of disconnect there in terms of the ultimates as well. Even Muma's Primal that we saw, I mean, you know, whether he was always planning to swap to Ryan or not, we'll never know, but if he was going to maybe stay, then that would not have been correct.
Yeah. Just, I mean, heartbreaking and soul-shattering that he couldn't even get Gamsu off the map, and then he survives in the end of it all as well. So just rough stuff. I'm not trying to kick a team while they're down. I want the Outlaws to do better. That's all. I'm frustrated because I want all the teams to be playing at the highest level that they can. It just seems like the Houston Outlaws are unable to get there here today.
Yeah.
Shanghai Dragons just have their number.
It's tough to come off of all these losses against really strong opponents, you know, so far going into your home game, you know?
Yeah.
And we will have Linkster subbed in now over Arhan.
Yeah, we'll be coming through.
with Oasis. I mean, plenty of DPS on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but a bit surprising that we didn't get to see him earlier on.
There's his girlfriend.
Standing by, watching in the crowd. We'll see if he can pick up a win here at the end with this map win, at least, you know.
It's always the biggest buff you're going to get, right? Is having that support right there in the front row. We'll see if he can bring it back here. It's only a -1 score they'll end up with in this loss if they're able to take the final map, since they were able to, you know, since it was a draw, not a loss on Anubis, let's say, because they weren't the ones to draw it. It was Shanghai. But either way, you know, for the Outlaws here, mentality-wise, it's tough to all be in the right spot after some losses like this. And you know, Arhan, remember Arhan, who was in there playing Brigitte over Jake, which is again something that seems like it's becoming the norm rather than something they're kind of flexing based on DPS. He's also one of those guys in that position who's the only Korean on an all-Western roster. So, you know, that can create communication problems. They've got Linkser in now. Maybe it'll look a little cleaner.
Well, it will be Junkertown, so we can expect some Widow, I'm sure,
absolutely,
from Linkser coming in.
So it's definitely what we're expecting to see.
More DPS-centric here, for sure. Shanghai Dragons going to be feeling right at home. Houston Outlaws getting ready to bust out some of their own. Linkser already showing us the Widow as they get set up on defense.
Dragons will, of course, identify the composition before they fully decide to roll out with the comp that they want to run. But I think there's a real possibility we do see a double sniper here. But I think it's stronger possibility we see more of a 3-3 with a, you know, you can run it with the Sombra or you can run it with the Widow. Like, Ding can run either with the rest of the comp kind of falling in line. We'll have to see it first before they can fully decide. Or perhaps they're just going to blind Pirate Ship.
Waiting on the setup here. Gamsu pushing out the gates.
It's tough to get value out of the Widow against a composition like this because of the barriers, the shields here. You know, it's tough to get an angle, and all these heroes are pretty tanky on top of that. So perhaps just expecting, as everyone did, that when Linkser subbed in, you know you're going to get the Widow.
Yep. Hear a hook coming through. It'll be Raucous managing to find it. Doesn't lead to any kills, but Ding dangerously low. The shot's coming in. Immortality Field will be used. Headshots flying through, but unable to confirm those kills, just going to be chunking them down to 40 HP.
Incredible
continues
damage,
to roll.
But no kills, and that's the thing. Widow, doesn't matter how much damage you do if you don't secure the kills. And Coolmat's demec'd. This just looks like a slide into A. No problems, no questions asked. They countered the Widow, and the Immortality Field's all they needed.
I mean, they have to play forward, but Raucous is going to be taken down. Now Boink having to cheat up and tag in onto the cart. Red's going to be coming through, but that's going to be the whole hog out. Nice hook will interrupt here for Youngjin, but Raucous gonna get snatched up and DM scoops the kill.
Always hook second. that's a general rule of thumb in terms of the Roadhog matchup.
Yep.
If you hook second, you're gonna win.
Since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time, as it was in the beginning, is now will be forever, as they say. Well, you know, up here is Gamsu, and they're just gonna try to set up another position for the Bastion for this first corner. While they control this corner, this is going to work, and the cart's going to roll for free. Once they lose this corner, they'll probably change up composition.
Supercharger nearly ready to go. That's going to be terrifying. Well, EMP as well. Bit of a jump scare coming through. Will lead to Coma getting taken down, and Linkser in the back. He's taking some shots. It's a nice headshot here onto the mech. And actually pops him out! He's going to say, he's got 1 HP! Linkser, you madman!
Insane plays from Linkser.
Unbelievable!
Oh, man. Now he's down to 8. What's he going to do this time?
I don't know, but the lower his health is, the more damage he does. He's got a rage bar or something.
Oh, finds a cloaked Ding there.
Yeah, body shot onto Ding. Forces him to jump back, so Translocator going to be on cooldown now.
Nice halt, too, there from Muma to actually disrupt them from not channeling or charging, but contesting the high ground. They won't be able to do it without resetting here because of that knock off the top. Things are just going to stick with this Widow. It's going to get less and less impactful as time goes on, but he's got a good angle.
Yeah, in behind the shield, EMP going to be coming through it again. That's going to be catching pretty much everybody other than Ding. And the whole hog just melts people.
Linkser waves. He just watched it happen. He added a little bit of damage in there.
Yeah, clean sweep. Got some swaps here for the Shanghai Dragons. So the 3 ult investment doesn't feel as bad for the Houston Outlaws, and Linkser just takes out Luffy. So
yeah, we might get a replay of that one. Yep.
It's be Raucous here with the whole hog.
Yep. Well, as you can see, once the barrier's down and they pop the
Oh,
corner.
man.
Yikes.
What a brutal spot to be in.
Well, the problem for the Shanghai's composition is it looks like Linkster might have taken out Coma here now. The problem is you can't get out of the gates because Linkster's got line of sight on you. This normally doesn't happen. The defending team usually doesn't get this control over this area because usually the attacking team takes it and you never regain it, but they did through that EMP. And Ding can't even get to people to build EMP. He's only halfway there. He's going to be reset here once again, it looks like. And this comp just isn't functioning as it's supposed to. And sometimes you stick on a comp like this too long. I don't know, man. I mean, they've got a good time bank, but this next EMP fight has to be a big one. But the Outlaws are already so spread out with the control they have.
Thing gets shut down here. Oh, Raucus! They push him outside.
That's a
Be able
start.
to take a breather, trying to stay alive, but there's just too much pressure coming in. But Linkster again manages to find a pick as Luffy's going to be taken down, further delaying that transcendence, which they desperately need as there's getting ready to be another EMP through from Dante. Speaking of EMPs, one's going to be coming in. That's going to be Ding dumping it in. That's going to lead to Muma and Boink taken down. So finally some breathing room for the Shanghai Dragons as they get the cart rolling. Houston Outlaws, though, plenty of opportunities to try to stabilize again. Linkster gets the point blank shot on the Ding. Every time you try to corner this guy, it results in death.
Yeah.
Just leave him be. Run away, Young Jin. Run away.
Run away, just let him be. Just let him reset, just let him swap heroes. All right, well, looks like he's going to try to flank from behind, but Ding is watching.
Oh. Is it safe? Is it safe to poke my head out? It's a lot of damage on the Linkster. This time, can he get the shot? Jumps up the top with a grapple. He'll get taken down. But in the meantime, Dante, he's going to be landing a 5-man EMP, including Luffy. So no chance for that Transcendence to come out. They do manage to trade back onto Muma and Coolmat, however, so the cart continues to advance. Rock is going to be trying to delay, but he gets hacked, can't take a breather, gets taken down. And the Shanghai Dragons, their time gets delayed significantly, but they roll into beat with 5 ults in the back.
And it was a 6v5 fight with Linkster dying. He has to swap over to the Brigida now. And that's, you know, he was doing so well when they had that unusual control over the high ground just outside of A. That almost never happens for the defenders, so he looks like a god in those moments where he's sniping the supports that are out in the open. But in these chokes, you know, the Widow loses value against a comp like what the Shanghai Dragons are running here. So he's got to swap over to, well, he was briefly on Brigida. He's going to give that to Dante now, and he'll be on the Zarya. But this EMP fight, it's not going to be a 1-1 for the Houston Outlaws, I can tell you that much.
Drop down comes through, 5 members going to get caught. Youngjin, however, taken down. Linkster does manage to find the first kill, but Coolmat will get demeched.
Well, I mean, I guess Caster or Curse, I don't know.
The cart's still advancing, though. So that's the problem for the Houston Outlaws. The kill's looking good, but they need a lot more than that. Heal the Eye goes through on Ikamsu. He just goes ahead, peels back, now charges forward. Helps come up with a few extra kills. The cart will start rounding this very long and final corner. Rock is going to get hounded down. High energy for DM means that's a dead Ana.
The kill advantage was certainly in favor of the Outlaws there, but yeah, I mean, the fight was still technically won by the Dragons because of the positional advantage they gained and then used with the ultimates they still had, the Grav coming through to close it all out. They only used the EMP previously, then the Grav comes through. Now for the Outlaws, they need this nano boost to get value. There it is.
Bomb going to be coming through, looking for a pick off, unable to find one. Gilden Eye's out on a Young Jin. He'll go low. Boink manages to find that kill. Muma trying to stay alive, but will get taken down. One final hammer swing from Gamsu finishes him off. No one's on the card at the moment. It is just so very close. Koma finally realizing, hey, we should win the map. You know, we should finish this. But as I say that, Raucus comes back in. Bionade takes down one. Luffy will be lost as well. So good kills here for the Houston Outlaws as they're stabilizing just as the cart gets to the final couple meters.
He's looking at the back door. It's just not going to happen. It's kind of ironic that the fact that no one was on the cart is why the Outlaws actually get the respawns and survive.
Don't move. Don't make any noise, Koma. Oh no, they spotted him.
He's going straight for the Mega.
He's out. He's all right.
He actually doesn't grab the Mega because he wants the extra ult charge from the healing. And for the Dragons now, I mean, this is still winnable. They've got a Grav, but Boink's got the sound barrier. And he didn't use it early. He didn't waste it this time. He's got the proper response. And Luffy is going to still have to build that transfer. He wants to have the last ult in the fight, the last healing ult.
Majority of the team cut their way over onto the other side of the high ground. Gamsu dropping down.
Luffy 30% away.
Cart forward again. Grab going to be thrown in. Manages to find Koma.
Trying to burn him down. He's going lower and lower, and Muma pushes forward, gets a 2-for-1 special with the swing. Takes him down, but Linkser and Muma going to be on the exchange. Shatter comes down. Cool Matt hits the ground, gets popped out of the mech. Has to use the self-destruct to buy a bit more time. Finds the kill on Agamsu, who's trying to get back into the mech and tag onto the cart, but he just can't do it in time. The Shanghai Dragons will be able to finish their push here on Junkertown, but the defense really was coming alive for the Houston Outlaws.
I think the Outlaws thought in that fight, because they waited so long to grab, that was such a smart play. They put Linkser on the Zarya. He comes in with a late grab there. They thought, okay, if we win this fight like this late into the fight, then they can't re-aggress onto the point. They're going to have trouble touching it, and they're just going to, even though they have more ults than us, they're going to lose, you know, multiple 6v2 fights as they're all streaming over to the cart. But it was Ding who actually survived and made the choice to go for an EMP, because he simultaneously realized that we have to use our ults now, even though we're down on members, because there is no way we win this and finish this if we do come back from spawns. It has to be now. It has to be in this moment. And they do it. And they do it, you know, before overtime, 2.6 seconds on the time bank. Not always as significant on Escort, but very much a snap decision from Ding and the rest of the Shanghai Dragons to commit ults and try to win that fight instead of just seceding the point and going to try to rush back on respawns, which a lot of teams would have done in that moment. In that panic moment where you're not sure exactly how much time you have. So, good plays on both sides there, but the Shanghai Dragons emerged victorious.
All right now.
They're just going to keep running the Sombra.
Yep, we'll just beat Ding on the Sombra where he is most comfortable.
Linkster's going to have...
So this could be interesting.
Yeah, Linkster's going to have a lot of opportunity to get solo kills and flank on A, as long as the rest of his team isn't getting steamrolled. But with the Bastion, the focus is on the Bastion, and that means Linkster has no pressure on him, and that gives him an opportunity to get those kills. He needs to get them. He needs to get a few kills before they can really start to get some ground here.
Getting set up here at the start. Teleporter going to be thrown down as they cut over to the side.
Oh, this is creative. I like this.
The moving bunker. Coming through again as Cool Matt operates on the Sombra. Everybody from the Shanghai Dragons staying huddled indoors.
Yeah, and he's sticking with the Symmetra for now. Let's see if he goes and swaps. I don't think so.
He's going to be setting up the next one.
They're just going to try to use
shift over. Yeah, just try to get lines of sight.
These rooftops.
They push over to the side. It's going to be Kamsu. Gone. Deleted by the Houston Outlaws. Cart still just inching forward at the moment. Ding going lower and lower. Linkser wins out again.
You know, it's really cool what they're doing because it turns the idea of the pirate ship on its head. It's like, what if we could just have high ground and have the pirate ship? What if we could be firing from above?
Well, that's going to be Raucous Find and Luffy Youngjin taken down. They will be able to kill off the Sombra, but it's not that far of a run for Cool Matt to rejoin in with the rest of the squad.
The Symmetra gives you...
He'll be swapping it up anyway.
Yeah, he'll swap anyways, but the Symmetra gives you the ability to put the Bastion wherever you want it. You always have positional advantage, whether it's high ground or flanking power. Oh. You don't need the passive healing of the cart. You don't need to be on the cart. You need to get the kills. Then you can jump on the cart with your Orisa and keep it rolling.
Well, we saw Ding coming in nearby. Holt not going to be able to pull anybody outside.
Just over 1 out of 4 shots are crits, by the way. Headshots. We saw that stat just briefly.
Spy checking. So just trying to find Ding. Knows that he's constantly going to be looking somewhere to try to win the next bout. Shanghai Dragons pushing forward. Youngjin going to get taken down as Linkser just sits here in the back. Takes a bit of damage from Luffy. Ding manages to find 2, but still Houston Outlaws winning out with a couple of these kills. They get a little bit more. They might be able to advance given the faster run back times for them.
So, you know, I have to say this is a bit odd from Panthera given they played through the Widow meta in Korea and they're walking out into sightlines here.
Well, Dante managed to find 2 with the barrage before getting taken down by DM.
You never
over the top, Linkser gets him, gets rid of that Zarya, and then gets a left click spray to finish off Kamsu mid-charge.
The one time you're going to have a massive advantage as the Dragons versus the Widow is if you just let them push the card in, but you set up defensively on the high ground. So Linkser can't shoot you while he's outside. He enters, and then you're fighting at an even playing field. But the Shanghai Dragons exposed themselves, gave Linkser way more options. We saw so much in Korea on this map, and it's disappointing to see the Dragons just waltz out, but hey, they can stabilize here with this EMP. They've got a grab, and there's no transcendence.
Waiting for his moment. He's trying to get Dante out of the sky. Will be able to do so. And he should be the first one taken down. Yes, he is. Pack now coming in onto point as he tries to go for the res. Unable to do so. Uma does manage to finish off the Zarya. Now Kamsu going to be gone. The front line broken for the Shanghai Dragons as they further try to stabilize, but the cart's just gliding in the meantime. They finally will be able to contest this. about a meter away, but the kills are coming through melee style for Raucus and Muma. And point B is snagged. Nearly 5 minutes on the clock here for the Houston Outlaws, looking good.
It's such an amazing feeling, too, if you're Linkser right now, because you know this is the map you're subbed into. This is your role. You are the Widow God, right? You come in, Shanghai is giving you sight lines, and all you have to do is click on heads. There's no thinking here. It's all about repositioning. It's all about the headshots, right? And they get an incredible time bank through his pure mechanical skill alone, as well as the strategy we saw with the Symmetra there for the teleporting Bastion. But it worked well in the defense, it worked well in the attack. Now he's just got to close things out with the Zarya. Raucus built up a Transcendence and all the time DM couldn't grab. So now they have the answer for that too. There's a lot of great things going right there that the Outlaws have going for them right now, including a missed jump here by DM. Oh no.
And he's down onto the low ground, not quite where he wants to be, but Kamsu is here to keep him some company. Grab's going to be thrown in. Obs this one. It's going to be the shield up. Muma trying to keep the team protected. Pinned to the wall, Transcendence does manage to keep him alive. Sound barrier going to be committed from the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Bomb thrown in from Cool Matt, unable to find any kills. Makes it back into the back safely, however.
EMP is ready.
EMP will be thrown in. Muma instantly going to get collapsed on. And that will just be the near wipe coming through onto the members of the Houston Outlaws. As Boink does get finished out, and Cool Matt, well,
it's rough.
We know what happens
when
here.
When you only have the trance, like you have to trance for the grav, but then you don't have the trance for the EMP. Sometimes the EMP comes first. It doesn't really matter. It's usually the grav that comes first. But the point I'm trying to make here is, I think the Outlaws knew this is pretty likely a lost fight. They wanted to build as many ults through that fight as possible during the EMP, because you can still get damage done. This is where you can start to turn the tides of ult economy, is if you can force the trance out here from Luffy and build your grav at the same time in this fight. It's tough to do on low ground versus the high ground setup, but they're going to have to make it work.
Well, Ding really has it out for Linkser, just hacking him at every twist and turn. This time it's going to go on to Muma, however. Kamsu going to be the Rhine that gets taken down. So Houston Outlaws is going to be waiting for Dante to rejoin them with that rally. So they continue pushing forward. Already a decent chunk of the time bank going to be chewed up by the Shanghai Dragons. About 2 minutes gone. As Linkser considering wrapping around to the high ground, but wants to play low with the rest of his squad.
More damage done for DM overall, you know, in these situations where he's on the high ground, means that they're going to match Grav. And the advantages the Outlaws had are starting to wane. EMP is going to make it even better here for the Dragons. Raucus doesn't have Transcendence yet, so he doesn't even have a response to this. Boink, if he can hit the barrier, though, that's what they need. And he's caught!
Yeah, big Boink going to be caught here. And that will be Muma.
Through the
taken
window!
Out. Yeah, looking for the additional little hacks here. Raucus will get hacked out. 2 kills going the way of Shanghai Dragons as they shut down yet another push.
Now, usually teams can track ultimates extremely well, but in this case, they both hacked Raucus and Boink and were able to see the check marks over their heads, so they physically have seen and know that both support ultimates are online. Really curious to see how the Shanghai Dragons approach this now that they've used their biggest card in the EMP. They could try to grab at an extremely forward position, try to take the fight away from the payload itself, or maybe they're just going to look for a straight-up engage where they look for a pick with a pin or setting up a shatter. But the support ultimates here are the biggest tools for the Outlaws. Raucus hacked. You can see they're looking for that.
Oh, grab going to be used, but Cool Matt takes it away. Defense Matrix snobs that one up. Shatter looking good for Kamsu, but still not going to be leading to any kills. The sound barrier from Point helps to keep them alive. Now the Transcendence is out from Raucus as he tried to move over onto the cart, continue this push. Luffy and DM taken down. Muma going to be exchanged.
They don't win the team fight, but they get both support ultimates, and that was always the goal. That's why they grabbed forward. They were able to force out the barrier there despite the eat on the grab. This is going to be a huge stagger for Gamsu, so that's a nice boon for them. He can't get back. They're going to cut him off here. Actually, he gets healed by Youngjin from above.
I mean, he's pushed so far away. Hack comes through on a Raucus. Fighting in the back, who now has another EMP ready to roll. Sound barrier starts things off for Coma as they charge forward. Gamsu gets a double with a fire strike. Now just going to be swinging away in close quarters. Members of the Houston Outlaws all falling to the ground.
There's just no way for the Outlaws to build those support ultimates. They used them both in the last fight, and Shanghai Dragons feel great about this. They can use theirs to out-heal. They traded them back, but still now they have a Graviton Surge coming up shortly. There's this one window for the Outlaws. This push is the only push where they know the Dragons don't have support ults, and they have their grab before DM has it. It's this push right now, or it's not going to happen. Shanghai's another 3-0 this stage. Let's see if they can make it happen. Linkser cannot let this get absorbed. It has to be a good one. We're going to force fight on the payload.
The Shadow's going to be coming through. Kamsu knocking him down. Linkser's going to be taken out. Don't wait for him to rejoin unless he can delay long enough for him to run his way back to the cart, but the kills are coming through. The Shanghai Dragons halting them right here in front of the finish line, give them a taste of victory, and then snatching it out right from underneath of them. The OT will tick down, and the Shanghai Dragons will take Junkertown. They've already taken the set, but they'll close it out with a 3-0.
The second 3-0 of, or actually, they got 3-0'd by the New York. I was thinking they 3-0'd New York, but we all know that didn't happen.
No.
But anyways, really good play by Gamsu there in the end to hit that shatter onto Linkser, knowing the way he would have to wrap around to force the fight onto the cart because they had high ground.
That was a crucial pick.
Beautiful plays from Shanghai throughout this series, really understanding how to disrupt the ult economy of the Houston Outlaws, and that's what they did on all three maps, but in particular on Anubis there and Junkertown especially, really just messing up the rhythm of the Outlaws in the pushes they were trying to make.
Well, solid performance here for the Shanghai Dragons. The Houston Outlaws, unfortunately, unable to get that victory to ride in with a bit of momentum into Dallas.
We're going to have to see how they do in Dallas when they go to Texas. At the home field advantage against some of their opponents, you know, I mean, that's what you're hoping for, to bounce back there, but it might be too late for them in terms of stage playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the battle for Texas in Dallas. Expect the crowd is going to be very dominant on the Dallas side. But guys, we do have Emily standing by down on the floor with Dia, so let's go ahead and throw down for the interview.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dia, and it's his first time back at the Overwatch League stage this season, so please give it up for Dia and the Shanghai Dragons. So Dia, what was it like coming back for the first time? 第一次回到守门先锋这个舞台，感觉怎么样呢？
兴奋，但还有一些小紧张啊。而且今天也赢了嘛，就是真正意义上对我而言的首胜，因为我参与了，我也贡献了。我现在就是差了一个握手。
I'm excited with a little bit of nervousness, but today's match was really significant to me because I felt like I contributed and we won. The only thing I'm missing is that I didn't get a chance to shake the other team's hands. So, your Ashe play was so impressive today, and it was really pivotal in the second map. So, do you have any advice for us to play Ashe on a more expert level? 那么今天在你第二张地图的时候，你打的爱神发挥的不错。那么对我们就是家里的观众朋友们来讲，有没有一些窍门可以跟我们分享呢？
艾什他的技能优势就比如说他的那个 shift 比如说可以一开始站在一些稍微低的地方，当有人去跳他的时候，他可以利用他的技能去逃跑或者推人都可以。
I guess with Ashe, it comes with practice, and there's certain moments where, you know, Ashe can kind of like crouch, and she can run away easily. That's really about it. And yeah, thank you so much, Dia. Great game, and back to you guys, Wolf and Achilles.
This is one guy who likes to crouch and run away easily when he's on that.
That's any hero I play. I'm always just running away. I'm like a bit of a coward. No, I'm the one who's going in when I'm not supposed to be, but I don't have the rest of the Titans to back me up, so I just think that I'm Bumper. I just die instead, so I feed. But man, what a series that was. Shanghai Dragons continue to look good. They get another win under their belt.
Yeah.
Houston, you know, back to the drawing board a little bit, but guys, let's go ahead and figure out who the player of the match is on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. We're presented by Omen by HP, as always, and it's Ding.
I think Ding, absolutely stellar performance again on the Pharah, and his Pharah play was good enough to shut down Rockets on both the Ana and the Moira, because there just isn't enough healing to contest the point and win the tank fight when all of your backline is being hit by Rockets non-stop. And then we go into the later maps, he plays the Pharah here once again, then we see him dominate with Sombra, as he's been doing all season. I think real honorable mentions this series, though, definitely Luffy on the Zenyatta, who was able to build trance in those critical moments, and also Dia, who was able to help them get that extra defense there and bring the draw to reality on Anubis.
And also Linkser for constantly going toe-to-toe alongside Ding, shutting him down in those very up-close and personal moments with a Widowmaker. It's always a treat to see him play. And unfortunately, it doesn't lead to a victory, but still great to see.
Dia gets his first win. Emotional moment for him, no doubt. He's going to have to do it in a map 4 in the future if he wants to cross the stage.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in on Disney XD. If you want to watch the next matchups, make sure you shift over to Twitch.tv or ESPN3, because we got Hangzhou Spark coming up against San Francisco Shock. Match of the week. You don't want to miss it.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, man, what's up?
You need anything for today?
Nah, man, I think I'm set.
Big day today, man?
Yeah, huge. Let's play some Overwatch.
San Francisco Shock versus Hangzhou Spark. It's going to be a great series. It's electrifying. Whoa, what a play. Oh my. This is just a massacre, man. The most hyped team coming into the Overwatch League. Expectations were bordering on the stratosphere. Huge move for IDK. He gets two with it. Looks like Hangzhou at the final moment, the 11th hour.
To spark in, put things together that will work against top team.
But Shock to swing this one around.
We expect no less from a team of this caliber. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Overwatch League. It's time for our match of the week. That's right, the Hangzhou Spark going up against the San Francisco Shock, Matt. And I have to say, the Shock are looking incredibly good so far. Hangzhou have had to play a lot of map 5, so I hope they're ready for a tough series.
I mean, yeah, it would be kind of crazy if this one goes the distance. The Shock have looked so good in Stage 2. You think, I know, maybe after their really crushing defeat, in that final game in the finals of Stage 1 to Vancouver, I know maybe that kind of ruined the morale a little bit. I think it's just kind of sparked them even further, right? Where they're able to come in. They've taken no prisoners in stage 2 this far.
Now, we heard the sounds of that game, and they were still upbeat after losing. They were very proud of one another, but we know they're looking for the big W's in this stage. We heard a little bit from both of these teams in the lead up to this match, though. So let's set the stage with some spice.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the treat of the week.
It is not looking good for Spark. It's all shock right now.
저희가 저번에 했던 실수가 시간 낭비를 많이 했었는데 그것만 고치고 팀적으로 더 단단해지면은
3대1로 이길 것 같아요.
3-1, Matt. That's what they reckon. The Spark.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, is that realistic?
That was an average confidence level. Like, you should be able to do it.
The delivery wasn't quite there. You know what I mean? It's not about what you say; it's how you say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you gotta like do something like this, or like really just start flexing on them or whatever. We know San Francisco, though, they're the team that does project confidence, Matt. They do it on and off the battlefield. Stuff like this, spawn camps galore against the Los Angeles Valiant. They were not taking any mercy on a 0-7 team.
Yeah, I mean, if the Shock don't think you're very good, they get right up at your spawn door and they let you know about it, right? And, you know, you kind of call it what it is. I think it's great. You come in and you're not prepared for the match, this is what's going to happen to you.
You have to earn their respect before they allow you to play Overwatch in their presence, essentially.
Super loud.
That's how the Shock are. Yeah, I mean, that's it. These guys are definitely fueled by that kind of confidence. I mean, that's why that stage 1 final match was so good. 2 teams that are very brash and they really like to play aggressively. But let's see, Matt. Today is when we can see if someone can halt the recent winning streak for the San Francisco Shock. Let's bring out their opponent, the Hangzhou Spark.
I think you better bow down.
Let's see you walk the walk, Hangzhou, as they come out of the gates, Matt. A slew of long games in the past. The matchup recently against Guangzhou was frankly weird. It was strange Overwatch. They'd thrash their opponents in one map and then get bodied in the next. It was back and forth until that map 5. Sure enough, they won, but I wouldn't exactly call it a crushing victory.
No, they could not deal with the Doomfist of Eileen. Every map, though, that the Doomfist wasn't in play, the Spark looked very strong, able to take out the charge, but with the charge, they were on some